Compassionate leadership enables organisations to put the health and well-being of its employees at the heart of what it's trying to achieve. It recognises that to achieve great things for patients and improve patient outcomes, you really have to value and respect and develop the workforce.
Compassionate leadership for me is all about people and relationships and how we treat each other. I think we need to make sure that we treat other people as we would like to be treated. It's about respect, being honest and being kind.
I think the hardest thing is to try and change the culture of people. But how do you do that? And it's about going out and listening and talking to the staff.
Compassionate leadership for me is about making sure that we work really closely with staff, we support staff with the challenging roles that they're trying to do, we listen and we empower staff to make the changes that they need to make.
I think the link from compassionate leadership and leadership styles with the outcomes for our patients are quite clear. If as a member of staff you feel respected, you feel that your health and well-being is taken seriously, then it gives you the time and it takes away some of the burdens that you carry in the workplace.
I think it's essential that every member of the organisation feels valued. Medicine and nursing and all the therapies allied to those professions it's not just about clinical care, it is about the human factor.
I believe that my staff are pivotal to outcomes for children. And you can't achieve outcomes for anyone unless you are valued yourself. So it's imperative that we get it right so that they are actually giving the best they can.
I think we get better impact and more engagement with changes that we make if people own the changes. They get an opportunity to influence the decisions that are made, can lead the way, can own the development, can celebrate its successes. It becomes more about their changes and their improvements and not about the division's changes and improvements.
Right at the very heart of Getting to Good has been compassionate leadership, and I'm really delighted that in the last 12 months we've had over 700 members of our staff come forward and give us a view about what the organisation's been like historically to work in and where they feel it needs to go. They've spoken very powerfully to me and the other members of the change team, and they've been really clear that our values that the Trust's had for a very long time are good values, but it's the attention to detail and actually practicing them that really matter.
We've been running our leadership development programmes. They've been building up momentum over the last few months. We're receiving feedback from people who are on those leadership programmes as well as people who work with those on leadership programmes. Very positive feedback that they can really see a change in practice and behaviours.
So the big step for me was we were doing the small simple things to make their jobs easier, and when we were making their jobs easier they wanted to do more and they wanted to support us as a management team to drive things forward.
I think we could be in a very different place a year or two down the line. We recently did an assurance visit with NHSI and I was personally blown away by some of the discussions that happened in the team, completely unexpected. I knew we'd made some headway, but hadn't quite anticipated just how positive the assurance visit would be.
We've produced a staff engagement strategy, particularly focused on areas that the staff feel they need support in. We've produced a standing operating procedure to help them disengage from violent or abusive patients. And we've recently introduced mental health first aiders up in the hub.
So how will we know when we've become successful? How will we know when we're a truly compassionate organisation? I think quite simply, our staff will tell us that it's a good place to work, and we'll also hear from our patients and our community.
I think it's about a happy, dedicated staff and really good outcomes for our patients.
Many of our older patients on the island are frail and they need a different model of care, and a lot of that model of care requires something other than simple doctoring and nursing. That involves staff working in a different way, perhaps breaking down the barriers that used to exist between us.
I think that the way we'll know that the Trust and the service are making the necessary improvements and we're in the right direction will be gauged a lot by staff satisfaction. We want to have a low staff turnover and we want people to be happy at work.
I think when staff consistently feel comfortable to come to work, and they feel able to raise concerns and they feel able to put their hand up and say, I've got a problem. So it's for all of us really collectively to make people feel that they can raise concerns and it's a safe environment for them to be in.
I think higher management are more accessible, definitely, especially to us. Yeah. I think there's always improvements to be made, nothing perfect. I don't think the NHS is ever going to be perfect, but I think we've all got a common goal.
It's really important that we take health and wellbeing seriously, that people have got access to the right levels of support as and when they need them. Good occupational health services, good appraisals, good development programmes, good access to training. It's all really vital if we are going to have people feeling valued again and proud to work here.